All right.
Hiya.
Hey.
Hi.
Welcome in yonder my gate, grand golden estate, need not nor wait. Take my palm, aim up at the stars, practice the craft, get back on your path. Guide or craft, equipped me with a star that guides me just for me.
Hiya.
Hey.
Hi.
So,
How are you doing?
I'm good. So this is Alison, one of my mentors and my friends, and basically this is a paranormal video where we're going to talk about paranormal experiences. So, Alison, take it away about what you told me.
Right, okay. So, many years ago, at my house, I kept seeing a big, tall, black cloaked figure walking past the garage window, and it was during the day, and the dog was barking, and I ran outside. There was nobody there. Then I found out, after a little bit of investigation, that my house was built on top of the Hangman's Hill, and the man that I was seeing was the hangman. Now, I just thought it was me, but then my daughter, who was 13 at the time, was having a sleepover in the room, and I never told her about the hangman. And her and a friend said to me, during the night, a great big black cloaked figure came and looked through the door. And I thought, oh, it's him, but I didn't, say anything because I didn't want to scare them. It was really tall, and you could sort of feel a presence, although it was always for me during the day. So then, on the 10th of December 2010, I had a house fire, and it was caused by something getting caught in the tumble dryer, and the roof went, the whole house went. I had to vacate it for 6 months, but when the house was put right and I moved back in, it had been purged, it'd gone. And I was pleased in one way, but in another way I was quite sad because I got quite used to having this spirit.
Yeah. And did you tell the bit about was it your granddaughter who saw it at sleepover?
Yes, she did.
So
Yeah, she did. She saw him looking through the glass doors when she was having the sleepover. And he's definitely there. He was definitely there. And the night before the house burnt down, my son, who was only 2 at the time, he had all the Thomas Tank Engine toys, and they were all over the house. And around midnight, they all went off.
As in they were
talking to each other, but they weren't anywhere near each other. And
So by talking, what do you mean?
they interact with each other,
like
but they have to
moving
be
around.
together to interact. And they weren't. There was some in one bedroom, some in another. They were all going off, and I thought, what is going on here?
So is that the noises?
Yeah, they go, hello, I'm Thomas. Hello, I'm Percy. And they could be all over, and that's what happens.
So the little girl who saw it through the door,
Yeah.
you didn't tell her about
No,
the
because I didn't want to frighten them.
Right.
But I was really interested, so I wanted to investigate on sort of where my house was built. And it was built on top of a mound where they used to hang people.
Wow.
So it will have been the hangman. It's definitely gone now.
And we won't disclose where that is.
Oh, no, we won't.
But yeah, it's crazy. But it's near us,
Yeah,
near where I live.
it is. And there will be more tales of ghosts and spirits to come.
Yes. All right. See you in the next segment.
Okay. Bye. Thank you.
All right, guys. We're back. Alison has another one.
Do you-
Alison. Yeah.
Oh, okay, hi. So I was at my friend's house, and her house was built. The first thing was on a Roman road, and we were staying in the bedroom downstairs, and we heard this marching in the middle of the night. I was about 10, 11 years of age, and a whole troop of Roman soldiers just came straight through the wall and went straight through the house. which was absolutely amazing. And we both just looked as if, what the? And then they're gone. So we must have both been dreaming at the same time, but it was there. And then they had a cat, a great big old male cat, who used to fight all the time, called Kitty. And he died when he was quite old, and they got a new kitten. And the new kitten ran under the sofa, and I bent down to look for the new kitten, and there was great big gnarled old Kitty staring back at me, and I couldn't see the kitten. I sat up, looked again, and it was the kitten. So there's been quite a few things that have happened that, you know, you doubt your mind, but you know it's real. It's really difficult.
And how do the kind of apparitions look? Do they look like normal people, or do they look like...
They look real.
They look like
They look
real
manifest.
things and
They look real, not puffs of smoke,
just like me and you sat there, that's what they would look like. And for those who don't know, we are in England, but Romans had settled here basically hundreds of years ago, and so that's why a lot of people have Roman kind of apparitions here in England and probably around Europe. But actually my grandmother, I don't know if I told you this, or maybe my mum told you, basically she was driving at around midnight on this long road. I think it probably looked like this because I went on the road with her.
Yeah.
And there was just one armored Roman soldier just walking alone at midnight in the dark, just like along the road. And this is actually a Roman road that they built, actually.
Oh, absolutely. And did he look manifest?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
They do. I think a lot of people think that you're going to see a grey figure or a puff of smoke or a quick flash of something. Yeah.
And and you also told me a story about seeing, was it your auntie or your friend?
Auntie Marjorie. So Auntie Marjorie died, and she was so lovely. This I doubted till I went to the spiritualist church, and I was in a pound shop. I was in a shop and I saw this woman walking against the crowd towards the wall, and Auntie Marjorie had been dead about 6 months, and it was Auntie Marjorie, and she just I sort of blinked and she's gone. And then at the weekend I'd gone to the spiritualist church, and the particular medium who was on the podium that night said to me, "You've seen your auntie in the shop lately?" And I couldn't believe it, and I said, yes I did. And he said she always used to sing when she was hoovering, and she did.
Wow.
So that sort of affirmed to me that it was her that I'd seen, because I really did think it can't be. She just walked in the opposite direction of the crowd. But
wow. Like through the people or
well,
in between them?
She didn't really have to go in between. She just seemed to go straight.
And then through the wall?
Well, when I blinked, I couldn't see her again.
Oh, okay. Wow. And she looked like a physical, normal, everyday person, but obviously your auntie in the shop.
Yep, a physical person, but she wasn't looking round. She was just staring straight ahead. Yeah, I like things I like it when I have the experiences. And when they can be confirmed at the spiritualist church or by a medium or somebody else, it's great, because you know it's real.
Yeah.
Right now.
So you saw that, and then somebody who had no idea anything about that, you saw your auntie. She was like, "You've seen your auntie. That is nuts."
Yeah.
Guys, it's real. If you're watching this, you know it's real, but show this to a non-believer. Basically. You know, but yeah, so this is the end of my segment with Alison. So thank you, Alison, for joining me.
Thank you for letting me tell my stories.
Of course, I love it. So basically, the next segment, I will be chatting to either myself or somebody else. So see you in 1 sec. Bye.
Bye.
There we go. Yay, that was it. Part 2, Jill. My mentor and friend, she's a psychic medium. She said she doesn't want to be on camera, so I'm going to tell her story for her with her permission. This is what happened. Jill told me one night she was asleep. She felt herself floating, and then she was transported to some mountains. But it was kind of like a dream, but at the same time it didn't feel like a dream at all. It felt real. This immense terrain of mountains. It was just, she said it was insane. And then she saw hundreds of hordes of bewildered people, all races, all ages, looking all unique, different, a wide variety of people. They were all following her through this terrain. Next thing you know, she fell and she really hurt her leg, and she said she was fuming. Basically, she was so annoyed. It hurt. She was like, oh, like, I mean, like, she was kind of unconscious but conscious. She was like asleep, but she was like, oh, like, this really hurts. And she really hurt her knee, and she fell over. Anyways, so next thing you know, they arrive at some huge gates, and there's a man waiting there. And the man lets all these people through the gates, but they don't let her through the gate. And now, as these people go through this gate, they walk into this blue lagoon, and she says she's never seen a blue quite like that blue. She said that blue was next level stunning, like just insane blue. And they all walked into this pool, and they soon disappeared under the pool. She said the kind of trek through the terrain, it felt like hours to her. It felt so long, like actually hours in real life. This man wouldn't let her through the gate, okay? She was watching all these people go through the gate, and she was swearing at the man like, what the bleep, what the bleep, bleep, bleep? Why aren't you letting me in this gate? Hello? So she was really giving it to him, like swearing, like, she was swearing like, he was basically like, you were a reaper today. So she was guiding these, she thinks they were real people, basically. So she has been doing this ever since. Like, most nights when she goes to sleep, this is what she does. And it's like real, it's like exhausting. She says, every time I wake up, I am drained, exhausted. She doesn't want to do this, but she's forced to, basically. She then spoke to him again, and she was like complaining like, why do I have to do this, blah, 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 blah. And the guy responded, whoever said the road to heaven was easy? Nuts. When I said that she fell over and hurt her knee, guess what happened when she woke up? Her knee was bleeding all over the covers. Blood everywhere, and her knee effed up. Crazy. She said, believe me, I argued with this little man. She doesn't want to be doing it. And she says this was 25 years ago when this first started happening. She doesn't want to do this. And she says she wakes up knackered every day. Yeah, I just thought this was so thank you, Jill, for telling me that story. I thought this was completely a unique paranormal story. You know, I've never heard a story like it, right? It's nuts. I asked her, so who do you think this man is? Is it God? Like, who is this? And he said, no, he's the keeper of that gate, and he won't let me in. He said, we all have a part to play. And I said, so who do you think these people are? Like, who are these people? And she said, no, I think the people are random, hesitant to move on from all over the world. She can't go through the gate, she said, because she thinks it's because she's not actually dead, right? So she can't go into this blue lagoon. Crazy. And Jill sees spirits every day. She is like very, you know, clairsentient, is that the word? I'm not very good at all the clairs, but yes. I'm clairaudient, psychometry, I can feel things. I'm very sensitive. I can feel if someone's died or whatever. I'm like, whoa. And like energies can come on to me, I can feel that. But yeah, she sees things. I can't see things. I've never saw anything before. She said sleeping tabs don't work either. She tried to knock herself out. It doesn't work. She's always gonna have this kind of treacherous work going on. I mean, that's, you know, probably part of her karmic contract, you know, coming here to this moment. And yes, okay, now segment 3, me. I'm going to tell you some of my paranormal experiences. Here we go. So, this was maybe in 2017. It was probably 7 a.m. I wasn't ready to wake up yet, but I was in kind of a lucid state. I was like coming out of my dream, and I was realizing I was dreaming. You know, that kind of state where like you're kind of realizing you're dreaming. And I was floating above the bed, like a plank, like in some kind of witchy movie, right? I was like this, like plank, probably like 30 centimeters, 50 centimeters off my bed, floating. And I had my eyes closed, and no, this wasn't a dream, it felt real. Like it was like my astral projection kind of body. And I've had problems astral projecting as a young child. Like I'll be like this close to the ceiling, and I had to go to some healers when I was like 8 years old, because that's my thing. I'm like astral projecting the house. Okay, so I'm like this plank floating above my bed, and I'm like gurning like right, and I'm getting this alien kind of language in my ear. I know it sounds nuts, right? It sounded like Thai, like Thailand language, like Thai, like, but it wasn't Thai, but it sounded like it, like alien Thai language. I know I sound nuts, but you know, this is my truth, right? And I was doing some weird geometries, like I was at a plank like this, going, hearing this alien language in my thing, and I was doing like geometry with my hands, like these geometry shapes, like right? And then I started freaking out because I was realizing what was happening, and I was just like, oh my. And then I kind of like slowly kind of gained consciousness, and I like woke up and I went straight to my mum's room, right? And I was like, Mummy, something dreadful has happened to me, darling. Please, I must tell you straight away. And so I did. But yeah, story number 1. There you go. Okay, I went to go get my chakras aligned. This is my other story. I went to get my chakras aligned, right? And you know, they're doing the balls, and this was like a private session. And then they were like doing like envision red for the sacral chakra, right? Blah, 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 ding, ding, ding. I started like, you know, like that feeling when you're like astral projecting, you're like going through this pressurized tunnel, and it's getting faster and faster. It's like you're going up a like vacuum hose, and it's like, and you can feel the frequency, you can hear it. And then there were like doves flying past, and I had my eyes closed through all of this, right? And then I was like in this space. I arrived at the, you know, I stopped going through the vacuum, and I was in this space, and this figure came to me in my mind's eye when I was in this kind of weird state. A light figure, just like bright figure, like it kind of looked like, you know, like them like generic light figures you see in these like spiritual posters or whatever. It's just like this silhouette, and it's just so bright. It was like that. And thing is, okay, I'm not really a crier, I'm not super emotional, I'm like Taurus moon, I've got it locked and loaded. I'm a pretty stable person, you know, like I'm not gonna cry if it really doesn't mean much, right? But I was crying, okay? Nothing wrong with crying. I wish I cried more, but it's just not me. Some people aren't like that, right? I was like crying, like, but happiness crying, like, oh my gosh, it was like, it was just like the most like magnificent moment ever. It was like nuts. It was like somebody who I've never, like, I've seen them again. It's like seeing an old lover back, or an old friend. You haven't seen them in their lifetime. You thought they were dead, and they come face you and they're like, hey. That's how it felt. I was like bawling. I was so, and I felt so much love, and it was so amazing. And you know, I can only feel a fraction of it now, because it was, you know, it was euphoric. It was probably like if I freaking took some substance for the first time. It was like that. And that was just amazing. That was a really amazing experience I had. Next story. So I've shared this story a few times on around my social media. So Jill is the medium who's one of my mentors. When I first went to go see her, the night before, it was, I don't know, probably 3 a.m, the witching hour, something like this, around there, right? It was like a real man who was invisible. It was like a real voice in real life. It wasn't a dream. I've never had this before, you know. He was like talking to me, like something like, hey, Galdorcraft, like, wake up. My name's not Galdorcraft. Spoiler alert. Yeah, he was like, wake up or something. And it was nuts. It was like, it was a bit scary. You know, I won't sugarcoat it, but I was kind of exhilarated by it. I was like, yes, because I love all this spiritual stuff, and I really welcome, you know, all this. And you know, I've had many people say that I'm like a lighthouse to the spirits. You know, it's like I'm a light, and it's all the moths are the spirits. That I'm like that. I've got so many spirits around me, because apparently I'm chill. Like, I welcome them, like I do. But it's all good spirits, okay? It's all good spirits. Don't you worry. All good. Now listen, I've had kind of a few other paranormal experiences, like sounds and kind of unexplained things that I don't really want to go on about, but those are kind of my main kind of unique situations that I wanted to talk about. Okay, I usher in all of that. I hopefully in a year or two I've got a few more stories for you guys. Now there's horses in this field, so thought they were gonna come visit me, but maybe not. But yeah, and also I want to dedicate this video to my mentor who's died, called Mark. He died maybe 10 years ago now, and yeah, he's amazing. He was a spiritual healer. He fixed so many people. He fixed me with my astral projection craziness, and yeah, thank you, Mark. He's one of my spirit guides now, apparently, as well. So thank you, Mark, so much. He's with us now as well. So yeah, he's patting me on the back, I think. But I love Mark. I love Jill. I love Alison, and Barbara is also one of my mentors. Yeah. So thank you to all my mentors. Thank you to my family. And yeah, please say thank you, Alison, and thank you, Jill, in the chat. Gill. Okay? Because, yeah, thank you to my mentors. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Galdorcroft _ on TikTok, Instagram, Galdorcroft on YouTube, and Galdorcroft _ on Facebook, if you're down with the FB gang, okay? The Zuck. Bye, guys.